Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome if you're new. This is Moving Forward, where I pull some cards, do some readings, read some energy, explore certain topics, and see what comes of it. Okay. It's Monday. I hope you had a good weekend. I hope it was restful. I hope you were able to restore for the week ahead. It was a lot going on this weekend energetically. Sorry for any background noise. I can't control that, but just focus on the sound of my voice and we'll get through it. Okay. My weekend was okay. It rained a lot, so I didn't do much of anything. I rested a lot. I had plans to catch up on some stuff, but I just needed to catch up on myself. Needed to lay around, not really just focus on my own self and not outside energies. Sometimes you just have to do that. I mean, the back of it is I have a catching up to do, but I think I did enough to where I could rest. Sometimes we have to do that. We have to shelf things to mentally reset or restore yourself. Okay. So anyway, before I get into it, everything I say here is for entertainment purposes only. Everything I say here is for informational purposes only. Everything I say is alleged, even in the comments. Okay. If you want a personal reading, you can click more in the description of this video and the link will be there. Or you can email me moonlightergy15@gmail.com and I'll send you the link. Or if you want to email me, sometimes you guys send me articles. Sometimes you guys just, send me emails. I appreciate that. So if you want to just shoot out an email, why not? You could do that too. So today I want to talk about, I had no idea what I was going to talk about, actually. No clue. But I want to talk about what's going on between Israel and Iran. And there's some weird with the energy here. So I want to explore that and see what is happening there. And I want to continue. I keep seeing more and more things. I literally this was before someone sent me, I hope I could find the name of the user. Let's see. Give me a second, guys. Was it this? Anyway, I can't find the user, but thank you to the person who sent me the 2 articles. But before they even sent me these articles, I was going to read more on the alleged election interference. I was just thinking, this keeps coming up in my mind often, and it came to my mind particularly because of the protests over the weekend and all these people who came out, over 2,000 cities, if I'm not mistaken, particularly in Pennsylvania. In Amish country, all those people. Anyway, he won every swing state anyway, but it just goes to show. And I think that's the most annoying thing about it, is that it's so very obvious. I'm not going to get into it, but I'm going to explore the energy there. I don't quite know what I'm exploring. I feel like I've explored it up, down, and around the corner, but we're going to look at some things, okay? Maybe the long-term consequences of this situation for us, if this narrative continues, to be spoken, as being spoken of more and more and more and more. More and more people are saying this. And admitting to, yeah, something, I felt that day something was off. What's the energy like that? Like, what's the consequence of, like that? What does it say for the future of civic trust? So I want to look at that. Maybe. Probably. Okay. But there's 2 articles out regarding, rewiring the election, machines being changed, software being changed, just a lot of suspicious things. And I said that a long time ago. This has been planned for a long time. And I don't, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I mean, you don't need to really be, it's right there. It's there. The evidence. Will something come of it? I do see people looking into it. I do see that. But will something come of it? I'm not sure. I'm not, after last week when I had my epiphanies and revelations, I feel okay. I talked a lot about we need healing more so than trying to, it's really not up to us to really, at the end of the day, trying to find the truth to the end and all that stuff is, what's more important is how we want to be on the other side of it and how we can heal through this mess as we're going through it. It's more important. And I have been thinking a lot about that, the other side of it, the normalcy with which people and not us who are just sort of in the middle, the people who are not in charge, looking at everything just sort of like them normalizing this nonsense. Everyone outside of us. So that's what I'm looking at and sort of seeing like, what's going to happen? What will happen here? What is the real true consequence of all of this? Anyway, I had more to say, but kind of lost steam for what I wanted to say. I think I summed it up well enough. Okay? I just don't want to keep repeating myself. I don't want to keep talking about the same things. I don't want to keep reading on the same things. I'm really trying to move with the energy as opposed to being stuck in it. And, I'm trying to move beyond the same questions. And I'm really done with reading about Donald Trump. You guys ask me about him, I'll answer here and there, but I'm really honestly starting to limit reading about him, reading in his energy on him. He's locked in. We don't have to worry about him. And I don't mean that ignore, and I'm not trying to tell you how to feel, but for me, I'm not interested. I'll answer some of your questions about him when I do Q&As, sure. But I'm being very much like, he's not, he's not healthy for me or my psyche. I don't want to give him energy. I don't want to expend my energy on him. Sure, it's important to be informed, but certain things, I just don't care to read on about him because I don't care to read on him any longer. Okay? Not saying I'm stopping completely, but I'm definitely, it's a boundary for me now at this point in time. I want to know more about the collective and the effects of everything on us. That's what I care more about right now. Okay? And I'm not saying you can't ask me about them. That's not, you can. I'll decide whether or not I answer the question. So let's take a look at first this conflict here. There's tensions growing between Middle East and Iran and the U.S. And I did see last that I don't know if it's how true it is. I try not to, that Iran wanted to have peace talks because they, because they were attacked and they're a little bit battered. I don't know how true that is, people, I take things with a grain of salt nowadays, but tensions are growing, things are happening. It's very strange to me. I just literally was talking about insidiousness. So let's take a look. What is the underlying energy driving the current U.S. and Middle East tensions? Let's focus on Iran, okay? What's the underlying energy here? What's going on? People are saying, oh, well, World War III. Yeah, well, Nine of Swords. There's a lot. I will say this truth of what I feel, what I'm being told is that there's a lot of insidiousness happening. And you would say, yeah, sure, that, obviously, but no. Y'all don't know. Don't understand. The insidiousness is very serious. I could feel it. Arms dealing, all that. Very, very bad things. Selling weapons, I could see it all. Nine of Swords. Scandal. Worry. Very, and that happens. It doesn't really matter who's in the White House, but I tell you, the bumpers that were in place, they no longer exist. We are in the Shadowlands here. Knight of Wands in reverse. I have to shuffle. Something's wrong here. Okay, these are the cards that wants to come out. Four of Wands. Eight of Swords. Eight of Pentacles. Six of Cups. The Devil. Want me to put it up here. Insidious. I tell you. Nine of Pentacles. Strength. Give me the overall energy that is influencing these tensions. Page of Swords wanted to come out. Putting sanctions on 4 ICC judges, the same judges who were ruling on the leader of Israel. Three of Cups. Let's move this up. Nine of Pentacles wanted to come out. Ten of Swords. Underlying energy driving the current tensions. It feels like, I keep hearing free-for-all. That's what it feels like. A free-for-all. All this energy feels out of control. That's what it feels like to me. Underlying tensions. You have the Nine of Swords here. This sort of anxiety, this worry, but also scandal, you know. It feels like this here is Knight of Wands in reverse. That's why I said it feels like a free-for-all here, this energy overall. The Knight of Wands in reverse is a recklessness. Thinking without acting, or acting without thinking, rather. You know, it's a need for caution. It's a need to stop and think before moving forward with something. It's rashness, recklessness, impulsiveness. You know? That's what the energy feels like, the underlying energy overall. That is the tensions brewing up here. And this Four of Wands, it's like something feeding this feeling here. This Nine of Swords starting off with this energy. Would we go into war? I wouldn't say that necessarily. But something is trying to throw off a balance here. And it has to do with money, with the Three of Cups, and it's very... going to Saudi Arabia, and now suddenly Iran is being... And I know Iran attacked Israel. I know that happened in the past, in the recent past, but it sort of all lines up. They're bitter rivals. That's what I dislike, the insidiousness the most. That is the truth. There's an expansion of the past here with the Eight of Pentacles and the Six of Cups. That thing that he keeps trying to look back and bring back. And it's very strong and focused here. It's a push. But there are barriers with the Eight of Swords. Something... the Four of Wands and the Eight of Swords. A powerlessness. But the Four of Wands is sort of the opposite of that. Powerlessness. There's so much noise everywhere in my house right now. We have the Page of Swords, the information, right? I'd say intelligence, communicating, probably not honestly. The Devil's in the middle of the Ten of Swords and the Page of Swords. Oh, jeez. You guys know I will never lie. And the Devil's here residing all of this energy. You know? I hate that. I hear everything right now in my headphones. It's very distracting. Anyway, I will say this, that you know what? Let's look at leadership. But let me just really quickly say, before I move on, is that these cards here, I'm just going to keep it real simple, is something is brewing here. And it's about lies, it's about fear, it's about recklessness, impulsiveness, moving without thinking first. It's not about diplomacy, but it's about secrets. It is not good, you know? Okay, let's look at how U.S. leadership is influencing the course of this conflict. So the presidents, the Pentagon, diplomats, I use that term president loosely, but let's see. Can you show me? People's pockets gets fatter with conflict. That's what happens. If ever you want to get out of something, get in a conflict as the leader. Oh, jeez. Oh, golly. Golly. All right, let's see here. Oh, a bunch of cards came out. Yeah, that makes sense. Hierophant, the government, institutions, the magician, the King of Wands, the Page of Pentacles, and the Sun. Yeah. I knew that was there. Implementation with the Two of Wands, Ace of Wands, the World, Ten of Wands, Two of Swords, the Hangman. The Hangman. Give me the overall influence. What's the overall influence of the U.S. leadership in this conflict? Knight of Cups, Wheel of Fortune, the Emperor. Yeah. Three of Wands. That makes sense. Three of Wands. Judgment is on the bottom there. It could be how they're influencing us. I mean, they're with the magician here. They're showing their power and the support. Okay, and listen, Iran, Israel, Iran especially. Anyway. This Two of Swords here feels like they don't quite know. It feels like this is telling me, this here is telling me a couple of things. Is that they don't know what they're doing. It's sort of a feigned denial. Okay. That they even may have some say or involvement, but the Two of Wands is here. They do, and this manipulation with the magician, also in their power that they have, and this is kind of also saying they don't know how to use their power. But it let me get a clarifier. It really kind of feels like they haven't made a decision yet. But what decision are you making? One, because it feels like a pot was stirred. That's what it feels like. It feels like a pot was stirred. I pulled the 9 of Swords in the first bit of cards. The 5 of Pentacles is on the bottom there in reverse. And the 6 of Swords in reverse. You know? They're not exactly looking for peace. It really feels like a wait and see sort of thing. But there's all this energy behind action. But it feels like you have the Hangman here, and you have the 10 of Wands and the Page of Pentacles. Feels like, you know, starting and stopping, doing something and then pulling back, or observing, you know, or perhaps just bluster. Something started over here. You know what I mean? This whole energy here. But something with the Hangman, you know. It's like something causing them to pull away, but not fully. Down here with all these other, the 1, 2, 3, 4 major, 5 major cards, of 6 with the sun there. So it's almost like they're like on standby. That's what it feels like. They have, I'm not, you know, they have their hands in the pot, but they're waiting for something. Okay, you have the Emperor here. They're saying we are the ones in control. We have power. Don't quite know what to do at the same time, lying about it. They do, you know what I mean? Like, it's something dishonest here. And not just because they're them, but they lie about everything. But here it feels like being on standby for something. We have power. We are ready to act when we need to. But there's some, you know, pause here. I don't know. Oh dear. Let's look at unseen or hidden forces that are affecting the situation. 10 of Wands again. 10 of Wands again. I'm no expert in international relations, or, you know, I can only tell you what I feel, what I sense, and what I sense is not good. I sense a bunch of mess. What unseen or hidden forces are affecting the situation? Four Cups. Interesting. The Devil. Ten of Wands, Four of Cups, and the Devil. Two of Cups. Temperance. Peace. With the Devil in the middle of it all. Give me the ultimate unseen force here. The Tower. I knew it. It was there. The Tower and the Five of Cups. Okay. Well. Ten of Wands, Four of Cups. The Devil, Two of Cups, and Temperance with the Five of Cups and the Tower. That's affecting the unseen forces, influencing the situation. Discontent. Missed opportunities. But the devil, two major cards here, three. The Devil is affecting balance. The Devil is affecting this energy, is affecting. You have this as the problem here. Okay, you have Ten of Wands and the Four of Cups, the issue. Right? You have both countries who each have individual issues. Okay? Serious ones. Deep serious ones. And there's discontent. There is, maybe some disengagements for balance or peace or what have you. Stagnation. A lack of change. It's very burdensome, Perspectives are shifting. They have shifted, for some, perspectives to the point of attack. Someone being given, that's what I'm talking about. This is what I'm saying with the free-for-all, being given the space to act this way. I'm not defending anything. I'm just saying it's a problem. Okay? Letting feeling emboldened enough. The Devil here is the overarching energy that's affecting an unseen force. That's affecting the balance and the harmony of those affected. Situations not being tempered, things being worse, destruction, great upheaval, great change, things crumbling, grief and loss, losing something important, Five of Cups. You look through it, the unforeseen forces affecting the situation. From all of this, I need, it feels like, what my guides are also telling me is that, and it's making me think of Maya, who I channeled, change through great obstacle. Healing through great obstacle. Through great obstacles. You use the phrase suffering. And this kind of also, when you look at it, a lot of these cards are about healing. A lot of the cards here. Ten of Wands, an ending to burdens, you know. Five of Cups is grieving a loss, but it encourages lessons and healing. The Tower is about something being deconstructed so something new can come there. Two of Cups is about healing. Temperance is inner peace. I'm looking for a clarifier for the Devil. Queen of Pentacles. Money. Okay, Devil is the problem. Let's look at the outcome. Short term and long term. Devil is the problem. Outcome. Let's look short term. I'm going to do 2 for short term, 2 for out. Page of Swords. Ten of Swords is on the bottom. 9 of Wands. That's short term. Knight of Swords. The Sun. The World. Okay. Strength, resilience, continuing to move forward. The Page of Swords, clarity, perhaps new information, news being brought. You know, the messenger. For short term, learning a lesson, learning how to be resilient and strong. It's for the collective. Long term, the Knight of Swords, the Sun, and the World. Balance and harmony. Is that why I was showed explosions and keep being told about all that? Things coming full circle. The truth. I mean, it's definitely a lesson. New cycles with the world. Man, what a lesson, huh? Okay. Let's keep an eye out for that. See what happens. See how the energy shifts and changes. See if it gets even worse or will something shift. But I can tell you it feels insidious. And I'm not saying that to scare anyone, but I think we're at a point where we have to be honest. Let's keep a lookout for that. Okay? Okay, let's look at the election. We'll be okay. Ultimately, we will be okay. All right, let's see here. What do I want to read? What do I want to look at? I'm not saying there'll be a war. I'm not saying any of that. Okay, guys? I'm just saying something strange is happening. Just par for the course, but it just feels... It feels very much like, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but... Don't know. I'll use a different deck. Okay. Let's look at the election interference business. Someone sent me 2 articles. I'm sure you guys know about it already. Regarding the election machines. Okay. And if they didn't just change the machines or rewire the election, I could believe it. I can. More and more people are saying, yeah, that was strange the way this all happened. There's a pattern here. You know, you have to look at, we all know the story, so I'm not going to repeat it. But I want to look forward. I want to look ahead. And I don't necessarily want to know. What I do know is that, yes, I do sense that there's some, you know, there's outside of what we are seeing, there's people looking into this. And yes, I know you can't, as a president, even as a candidate, you can't necessarily or legally refute an election result. But where's the line, you know? Where is it? Okay, before I even ask the question, what are the long-term consequences? 2024 election fraud. The claims for democracy. What is the consequence? We have, this came out, King of Pentacles. High Priestess, of course. King of Cups. King of Pentacles and the King of Cups. As a consequence. We have the Empress on the bottom. Nope, that's the King of Wands. The Emperor, the King of Wands, and the Emperor, the Sun. We have the Queen of Wands. All these court cards. The Ten of Cups. Queen of Pentacles in reverse. The World. This doesn't feel right. Because I need to be more specific. What time is it? I can't believe it's 8 o'clock. I gotta finish this. Alright. Let's look at, I'm gonna do for the Democrats, and I'm gonna break it up that way, because that would be easier to read. Long-term consequences of 2024 election fraud claims for the Democrats. Eight of Wands. Hermit. Five of Wands. Continue conflict. Inner conflict within their, Three of Cups. The Magician. Seven of Cups. Ten of Pentacles. The Devil. Let's look at Republicans. I'm going to use this deck. Long-term consequences for the Republicans. Seven of Swords. Five of Wands. Same sort of energies. Ten of Swords. Oh, they have worse consequences, actually. Five of Cups. The Star. The Star. Four of Wands. Four Swords. Justice, the High Priestess, Five of Swords, Eight of Swords. Wow, not good for them. Very interesting. Justice is here. High Priestess. My guys told me these were their cards too. High Priestess, Five of Swords, Eight of Swords. Democrats are going to have a choice to make, and they're going to have to decide where they go from there, where they go from moving forward. They're doing that now, trying to do that now. The Devil is here with the Eight of Wands and the Hermit. And, the Hermit I've labeled. The Hermit is, you are at a crossroads and you have to decide, do you go left or do you go right? But the Devil is on top of that, and it's on top of the Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands is progression, expansion, things moving forward quickly. But the Devil is there, which is like blockages and, pretty terrible. Also, Eight of Wands, not the Eight of Wands, the Hermit is, roguery and dissonance. And the Devil is there on top of it, sort of suffocating progression, suffocating things moving forward as a long-term consequence for them. Okay? Trapping them in a loop of whatever it is they're trapped in. And they have to decide. And Five of Wands here, they have to decide as the Ten of Pentacles about their long-term future and their security. They're going to have a lot of choices to make. Democrats. They're going to have more choices than the Republicans for some reason. Okay. Will they make the right choice? We'll see. It's up to them. They have the magician, though. They may. But the Five of Wands is there with this conflict. External conflict, competition, no one being on the same page. Okay, I see it happening already. And the Ten of Pentacles is all about their future security as a party, stability as a party. They're going to have a lot of choices to make with the Hermit there. A lot of, they have to do a lot of thinking and introspection to figure out where they're going. But there's a lot of conflicts even now. It's a lot of conflicts regarding how they can become stable again. But as you move through this energy, it kind of feels like the Three of Cups could be one of two things. It could be they actually get it together. Not to say that they don't have it together, but they could get it together. I mean, they could get it together with the Three of Cups and actually work together harmoniously, or they feel it's sort of that's part of the choice. Maybe it's a long term. The seven of Cups is here. It's all about you have many choices, and you have to choose the right one. You have to be very discerning in your choice, and you have to not fall for an illusion or the shiny object or things that are usually too good to be true. It is. Okay, and so, but they're going to have power. They're going to have power with the Magician there. It's like the Magician is a card of illusion. You have the Seven of Cups there. It's really interesting, this energy. It's really interesting because Three of Cups, it feels like, quite honestly, even though the Three of Cups is like you work harmoniously with a group of people, it also feels like breaking apart. Something disrupting, even though that's let's see. Give me, and the Lovers is on the bottom. It's all about a choice for them. The Lovers is on the bottom here. I didn't pull it, but my guides told me that was their card. It's all about a choice. And they have the Eight of Swords. Let's see. Give me a clarifier for Three of Cups. Six of Wands. They may get it together. The long term is they may get it together. Five of Cups there in the bottom. Through it, but it's a road to get there. It's not going to be easy at all. They're going to do some work, but it looks as though the Three of Cups is a harmonious sort of energy. I don't know why I feel like also disruptive in a sense, breaking apart some way, or the choice there, something. But the Six of Wands is here. It's victory, your reputation, people looking at you, supporting you. Okay, that's the clarifier. Why don't I just ask for validation do the Three of Cups in this reading represent Democrats working together harmoniously? Do the Three of Cups in this reading represent Democrats working together harmoniously, saying yes. Okay. The Magician is there. They're going to have some power. A lot of power. Perhaps being able to work through the illusion or disillusionment, but it's not going to be easy to get there. It's going to be some real big bumps along the way for the long term, okay, for the Democrats. Let's look at the Republicans here. First card that came out for them was the Seven of Swords. That's, we have the Seven of Swords, we have the Five of Wands. I'm reading this back. Seven of Swords, Five of Wands, Ten of Swords, Five of Cups, Star, Four of Swords, Four of Wands, the High Priestess, Five of Swords, Eight of Swords, Justice. A lot of exposure. A lot of things will come out. And I'm not just saying this because they're Republicans. It just that these are... Give me... Tennis, I mean, it's some loss, okay? There's something about power. Something about... Show me the card, please. Show me what that power card is. Show me what the card has to do with power that I'm not seeing. Because I'm not seeing it. It could be in the Seven of Swords. The sort of flimsy... Oh, card just jumped out. Queen of Wands. In reverse. Jumped out in reverse. Queen of Wands in reverse. The Magician is on the bottom there too. The Emperor. Long term, they're going to be limited. It feels like you have the High Priestess and the Five of Swords together. It's like my guide said they said this is how they are presently. This is how they'll be. This won't change. There's a real big feeling of disarray. It's a real big feeling of low morale. Okay, with the Four of Swords here. It's like you have the Star here, and then you have the Four of Wands. They're still going to be there, they're not going anywhere. But it feels really feels out of control. Feels like a loss of control here. A lot of losses, trying to get back and strategize, winning at all costs. Still more cheating. It's really, but their plans are flimsy. Five of Wands, just much like the Democrats, fighting each other, friction with each other, some exposure. Because the Ten of Swords is here. After the Five of Cups, and then you have the Ten of Swords here. With the Queen of Wands in reverse, there's this lack of confidence that they usually get it upright, the Queen of Wands. But it's self-doubt, something, you know, for the long term will cause that issue within their party. And it's presently here, even though they're the ones supposed to be in charge, but they're in disarray. Lots of secrets, the High Priestess. On top of the Five of Wands, the card of exposure. But there's a rallying, you know, they have the Star here and the Four of Wands. So there's an energy, I feel, that they will try to rally themselves. But it doesn't. Mental restriction, when, you know, winning at a cost, but no real winning. It feels fake, is what it feels like. Justice is here, you know, justice is there for whatever reason. Let me get a clarifier for justice. Let's see here, what does that mean? That's the last card I'll pull. Yeah, Nine of Wands. I knew that's like a rally and sort of, they'll keep pushing, going, but they're really going to be long term bruised and battered. Less confident. They may, you know, they could lose more power in the long term. The consequence could be them losing the House and the Senate. That's what it feels like. That's what if the energy feels very heavy for them. Let's see. Could Republicans? Well, that's not the right question. As the energy stands now, will Republicans lose the House and the Senate? As the energy stands now, will Republicans, saying yes? Okay. That's what it feels like. Okay. All right, what time? Okay, I'll ask one more question. I wonder if there is a, outside of Smart Election and Election Truth Alliance, are there like people, is there a group of people or advocates that wants this to be questioned outside of them? Just like regular folk. I wonder. Okay. How will this shape the future election or civic trust? We have the Queen of Wands coming out. We have the Four of Cups. Yeah. Apathy. The lack of determination. That's sad. Can you imagine it being your first election voting in as a young woman, and you doing it to avoid this, and that happens. Jesus. Seven of Pentacles. Justice. Three of Pentacles. Judgment. That's good. The Fool. That's good. We want this. We want that. Two of Cups. We want that. What goes here? This question was the likely future of individuals. No, I'm sorry. It was how could this shape future elections or civic trust? Six of Wands. I'm gonna make sure. Nope, need to shuffle some more. Knight of Pentacles. King of Pentacles. Give me the ultimate. I'll come here for the future elections. Ace of Pentacles. Okay. I see a lack of over here. Queen of Wands and the Four of Cups. And so it could be a lack of determination or drive to be involved civically. Okay. For those who vote, but something sort of shifts. There's also, shift in perspective, okay? Because you have the Knight of Pentacles, which is, I'm the Knight of Pentacles, slow moving, sort of methodical energy towards expansion and engagement again. So something will shift to where people, for some reason, I just keep feeling younger people who are re-engaged, okay? Because you have the Seven of Pentacles. Is when you move from introspection, some work is being done here with the Knight of Pentacles that brings this apathy, shifts this apathy into something else, okay? And I'm trying to hurry up. Anyway. Okay, and brings a balance back. A feeling of a new beginning. The Seven of Pentacles wanting something to flourish and grow civically, getting back into for a long-term future. Because this newness here, something new, will cause a shift with the Fool. And you have justice, and a balance being brought back, fairness, okay, judgment, taking responsibility, and not just the cheaters, I mean the whole system and process, okay, things coming out, things coming back and saying, hey, guess what? Okay, that's why justice is here. Judgment and justice. Judgment is saying, it's the horn blowing, saying like, hey, your time is up, or hey, this is what you did. Time to take responsibility. whether you want to or not. Judgment is about cycles, you know, it's about awakenings, people waking up. Okay, you have Three of Pentacles here. People being involved again, civically. A new process, perhaps, because that's what the Three of Pentacles is, an experiment. I don't know if it's a new election or anything like that, but some sort of new process that will cause an awakening and balance being brought back. But it's a process, a slow one, a build here. You have the Ace of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles and the Two of Cups. Harmony and balance again with the collective. And this Ace of Pentacles is new expansion, new growth. It's all new. That's what we want. And King of Pentacles, the same sort of stability, security, coming back, trust, you know, reliability. So that's good. That's what we want. We're not far gone, is what these cards are saying. Okay. That's all I got. That's all I got for you guys. I'm going to upload this video now. And please like this video. I hope it resonated with you. Please comment down below. Share if you want. You don't have to. I will see you tomorrow. Okay. That's all I got. Bye. Go be okay.